if everything you own disappeared tomorrow, your 9 to 5, your income, your investments, your business, would you know how to make it all back? Because this is the question that nobody asks. Everyone wants to know, how do I make more money? But no one asks, would I know how to make it all back if it disappeared? And that's the difference between someone who's actually financially free and someone who's only as free as their boss decides that they are. If you're anything like me, you probably heard the same piece of advice from everyone. Go to college, get a job, invest your money, buy real estate, invest in index funds, and you'll be financially free. And don't get me wrong, none of those are bad things, but the problem is that every single one of those rely on something outside of yourself. A boss, an economy, interest rates, a board of people that decide whether you're even gonna get a paycheck or not, and people call this playing it safe. But honestly, to me, this just sounds like complete dependence. Because what happens when the one thing that's paying your bills just disappears? What do you actually have left? And this is why, whenever the economy gets shaky, people start freaking out. That's why a single meeting with HR can change someone's entire year. That's why millions of people are stressing that AI might replace their job. Because when your money depends on the market, or your boss, or the economy, you're betting your future on something that you can't even control. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine knowing that no matter what happened, you could build it back. Imagine not caring if your boss fired you, if the markets crash, if your business fails, because you know you can't just trust the opportunity. You have to be able to trust yourself to create one. Because money comes and goes, businesses fail, businesses succeed, but a skill stays with you. No one can take that away from you. And that's why I believe the highest paying skill on earth isn't coding, it's not investing or AI, it's selling. Not because selling makes you magically rich, but because selling teaches you how to create value anywhere. Every business needs customers, every customer has to make a decision, and decisions can be influenced by communication. If you can influence decisions, you can literally make money anywhere. Different product, different company, different country, different market. It doesn't matter what it is. If you know how to sell, you can always create value. That's real leverage. In fact, if you're good enough, you don't even need to own a product or have inventory. If you're good enough, you can confidently get someone to pull out their credit card and pay you money without even having or owning a product yet. Think about how insane that is. You're not limited to what you own anymore. You're only limited by your ability to create demand. And once you realize this, you're gonna stop asking, how do I make money? And you'll start asking, how can I solve a problem and be the best person at communicating how I can do that? Now, obviously, if this were easy, then everyone would do it. And if everyone was doing it, then it wouldn't pay what it pays. And that's exactly why this skill is so valuable. The barrier to entry isn't having rich family or having the right connections. It's becoming the type of person that most people never will. The reason that sales pays so well isn't because it's so complicated. It's because most people quit before they get good. They're not willing to go through what it takes to become a new person. You have to learn how to communicate, you have to learn how to solve problems, and you have to force yourself to be confident before you even are. And most importantly, you have to take responsibility. Most people try it, they get uncomfortable, and then they quit. And that's why the opportunity is still there. It's not because most people can't do it, it's because most people won't. But if you're willing to stay a little bit longer than everyone else, something starts happening. You start becoming a different person. You don't take rejection personally. Every time someone gives you a rejection, you don't get uncomfortable, you stay calm, you become sharper, you become quicker, you become more persuasive. And then eventually, you stop wondering if you're actually capable because you have results to back it up. Now, the conversations that you used to be scared of having are the same ones that are paying your bills and making you a ton of money. I mean, just think about all of the people that you look up to, the CEOs, the entrepreneurs, business owners, whoever it is that you look up to, they all have the same thing in common. They all communicate differently. They don't second guess themselves when they're talking. They know how to have the tough conversations and they know how to actually influence people. And this isn't confidence that they are born with. This is confidence that they earned. Every single conversation that they've had, every single sales interaction that they've had, every rejection has built them into the person that they're at today. And that's why learning sales is so much more than just learning a skill that makes you money. It changes your identity completely. You become someone that can earn trust. You become someone that whenever a difficult conversation or pressure comes up, you know how to stay calm, and you learn how to actually influence people. And whether you realize it or not, every successful person has this trait in common. So that's why I laugh whenever people ask me, is sales actually worth it? They're asking the wrong question. The question isn't whether or not sales is hard. Everything worth having in life is hard. The better question is, who do you become if you actually stick with it? Because 5 years from now, you're going to become someone. The question is who. Time is going to pass either way. So let's say you fast forward 5, 6 years and your friends create a group chat and message in there. Does anyone want to take a vacation here, some location in Europe? Half of them can't. They have work, they have some obligation, or they don't have enough money. But you're able to drop $10,000, $20,000 for a week vacation because you know you're always going to make it back. You're not relying on a boss or some board who's in control of your paycheck. You know that you have a skill to always make money. No matter what the economy is, no matter what the market looks like, you know that you can make it back. And those same friends that couldn't make the vacation, if they get laid off, they're relying and hoping that someone gives them an opportunity. But you're able to create any opportunity out of thin air because you know how to generate money by influencing people's decisions. Same age, same economy, two completely different lives because you learned how to actually make money, not relying on someone else, but relying on yourself and your skill. And that's the difference because you never really wanted money. Money is simply a scoreboard. You just wanted freedom and the ability to live life on your own terms. You can work when you want, travel when you want, and have the peace of mind that no matter what happens, you're not reliant on anyone. You'll have the confidence that no matter what life throws at you, you'll always be able to figure it out. Because once nobody controls how much money you can make, you never have to worry about that again. And that's something that I wish I knew when I was younger.